Hey, thank you for joining me in next DotVVM Minutes. I've been upgrading an old DotVVM application from 1.1 to the newest version, newest stable version, which is 2.1. And I have been using a nice and pretty unknown tool called StatusPage, which is a nice extension to DotVVM, which will allow you to see compile errors in all DotVVM pages in your application. There have been some breaking changes between DotVVM Business Pack 1.1 and 2.0. So I've been using this tool to detect which pages I need my attention and where I need to do some changes. As you can see, I have an old version of DotVVM right now. I have DotVVM ASP.NET Core 1.1.7. I'm also using DotVVM Business Pack 1.1.5 and dynamic data and other controls, which are other packages which are quite old. So one of the things I need to do is to upgrade them to the most current version of DotVVM. The easiest way to do is through the manage NuGet packages, because I'm talking about multiple packages. The first thing is to upgrade DotVVM ASP.NET Core, which is installed in this only one project, and the latest stable version is 2.1. So I will upgrade to 2.1, and this will upgrade the entire framework. And you can see that also I have some dependencies here which need to be upgraded. So let's do this. Okay, I have also .vvm.core, which is a very small package which with some interfaces which may be needed in your business layer. So I also need to upgrade this package. So let's do this. And I'm also using a library called .vvm Dynamic Data. It's a nice tool which will allow you to generate forms and grids using model annotations from system component model data annotations, these attributes. So I need to also upgrade this package .vvm Dynamic Data Annotations to the latest stable version, and also the .vvm Dynamic Data itself, because this is referenced in from my application. The annotations was referenced from the business layer. So also the .vvm dynamic data, that's here. And the last thing I need to upgrade is the business pack, which was in 1.1.5 release candidate, and we have the latest version 2.1.0 previews 9 final. Yeah, that's the latest final version. I have also some internal builds here, but they are not available publicly. So this version is public. So let's upgrade to this. There was also a reference to .NET CLI tool reference to .vvm compiler lite. We got rid of .vvm compiler lite. We have another thing called .vvm compiler, which is part of the .vvm package. So this is not needed anymore. And that the upgrade should be finished by now. And the last thing I want to do is to install .vvm StatusPage, which is a special tiny package, .vvm Diagnostic StatusPage, and this package will add a special page in my project, only in the debug mode, not in the production. And this page will show me all the errors on any .vvm markup in the application. So it will go through all the controls, all the master pages, and all the pages, and try to compile them and display the errors on one place. So I immediately see what I need to upgrade. Okay, so now my package is installed, and I need to just add it in the .vvm startup. So if you go to the .vvm startup and find for the configure services method, I'm using add status page, and there are some overloads. You can provide some configuration here, status page options, and there is a default, so you don't need to do anything, but you can fine tune there's something like authorization and also how to use the route name and URL on which the status page will be available. And now if you append underscore diagnostics / status in the URL, you will see the status page, which is now compiling all the pages, and you can see that I have already fixed all my errors, so all pages can be compiled. There is also a handler which is not compilable, but it's listed here. You can also see the controls, so it will browse for all markup controls and make sure that it's compilable, and also the master pages. I can open some page, for example the product list, and make a typo here. So in the previous version of Business Pack in 1.1, this column was called value binding, and the value is required, so it's underscored here, but you wouldn't notice unless you go through all the markup files. So this nice little page can tell you in which markup files you have some design time errors. Of course, it won't discover everything, but for the first check after upgrade to DotVVM 2.0, it's very helpful. It may not look like that, but the upgrade process was really straightforward. I just needed to upgrade all the packages and do very tiny changes in the startup. The only breaking changes were in the API of DotVVM Business Pack, which was in preview in 1.1. We haven't had a stable release in 1.1, so we have done some renaming, but it's not difficult to discover. The most significant changes were in the grid view, so the value binding is now just value, and also you need to use a Business Pack dataset instead of plain collections. The Business Pack grid view requires this kind of dataset. So that's the only significant change. Otherwise, the other changes were not so difficult, and I could find all of them using this nice tool. So the only thing you need to do is just install DotVVM Diagnostic StatusPage, and it will add this tiny little page in your application. It's available only in the debug mode, so when you deploy this in production, this page won't be registered in the route table and won't appear. But for local development, it's very nice. And you can see that this status page is embedded in an embedded resource because it comes with the DotVVM Diagnostic StatusPage NuGet package. And if you want to embed some pages in DLLs and distribute them, this is how you can do that. Yeah, you can use this embedded URL, name of the assembly, and name of the page. So it's very easy to do. Okay, so that's it for this video, and see you next time in DotVVM Minutes.